Christians need to pray more. Let me show you that in Colossians chapter 4. Paul says, continue steadfastly in prayer. Many translations say something like, devote yourselves to prayer. I want you to think about if you're wanting to learn a musical instrument, and let's say that you want to learn this instrument really fast. You want to be proficient at this instrument in a year. You're going to have to devote yourself to the learning of that instrument. What does that mean? That means you're going to put a ton of energy into learning this instrument. You're going to put a ton of time in. You're going to have to schedule. You're going to have to make a plan so that day by day you are practicing this instrument. That's what it would be to be devoted to learning that instrument. Well, Paul is using that same sort of idea with prayer here. We need to be devoted to prayer. We need to continue steadfastly, no matter what circumstances are going on around us. We need to have a plan to put energy in, to put time in, to schedule a way for us to day by day be going to the Lord in prayer. Continue steadfastly in prayer, being watchful in it. This is the idea of being alert, looking out for the things that we need to be praying for and looking out to make sure that we continue steadfastly in prayer. How often in our lives are we just kind of drifting along and we just sort of forget, I really should be praying about that situation. I really ought to be praying for that person, but I'm just kind of drifting along in life. That's not how we need to live. We need to be watchful. We need to be alert, knowing that all around us are things that we need to be taking to the Lord in prayer. And then with thanksgiving, how many times have we seen this kind of word, thanksgiving or giving thanks, in the last couple of chapters of Colossians? It comes over and over again, and it's in other places like Philippians 4. It connects bringing requests to God with thanksgiving, so that every time we are going and asking the Lord for something, that we're bringing requests to Him, we ought also to be bringing thanksgiving to Him so that we can look back and see how He has provided in the past and then pray that He would continue to provide in the future. At the same time, pray also for us. So we're not just lifting up prayers daily and consistently for ourselves, but we're praying for those around us. Paul wants them to pray for him. How often are you praying for other people? Do you have a plan to where you are going to continue steadfastly and to devote yourself day by day to going into the presence of God and on behalf of other people? Are you going to lift up other people's concerns in prayer consistently? Now, let's look at what Paul wants them to pray about him. I think we can learn a lot from this. He says, pray also for us that God may open to us a door for the word, to declare the mystery of Christ. The priority in Paul's heart here is the proclamation of the word. Now remember, Paul is in prison right now. Paul's being persecuted. Paul is suffering. But he doesn't say, pray also for us that God would get me out of prison already, or pray also for us that the suffering would stop and I wouldn't be persecuted anymore. No, what's on the front of Paul's mind is that he has the opportunity to share the gospel with people. He's saying, whether I'm in prison, whether I'm suffering, whether I'm being persecuted or not, that's secondary. The thing that you need to be praying about is that God would open up a door for me to share the gospel with people. Listen, y'all are going to go through difficult seasons in life. You're going to go through suffering. I don't know if you're going to end up in a prison for your faith, but you are certainly going to go through difficult times of persecution and suffering for your faith. The question is, what is your priority going to be in that moment? Is it going to be getting out of the suffering, or is it going to be the mission that God has given us of taking His word, His gospel to the people who are around us at all costs? Let's be praying that the Lord would do that work in our lives and of the other believers around us. Let's devote ourselves and continue steadfastly in prayer.